I'm not sure if the news made it to you guys yet, but the governments of Germany and Czechoslovakia. Here's an article from 5 days ago. First, Germany tells citizens to stockpile food and water. Now, Czech Republic warns citizens prepare for the worst. Quote, of course, I often talk about the possibility of a type of global economic meltdown that may occur in the near future. It's not entirely global. The West looks like we're actually in a lot of trouble. There may be countries that don't fare so badly, like China, Singapore, Russia. They might even do better. What is this? I can't even look at the article. Oh yeah, I accept. Nonsense. Oops. Here we go. First, Germany tells citizens stockpile food and water. Now, Czech Republic warns citizens, quote unquote, prepare for the worst. Of course, people are saying, what did these governments know that we don't know? Well, maybe they know what we know. We know how bad the economy is. I talk about it, and it's not just us. All of these NATO countries, Europe, a lot of them are we're all in bad shape. Okay, Canada, surely Australia, and there's a bunch of us. Okay, we're all in rough shape here. Now you can add Venezuela to the list also. There actually looks like even descending into somewhat of a police state with active raids on activists, prominent activists. So sort of a scary picture emerging. After that socialist Venezuela, now it's hitting a different level. So anyway, look, some of this video, yeah, might be a bit scary. Yeah, for a long time it's like, man, all of these economies look so bad. But it keeps going on and on and on and on. And then finally, now we're starting to see cracks in the ice. We're starting to see evidence. Frankly, we could have a disaster. The governments that told their citizens to prepare, it certainly looks better for them rather than the governments who got blindsided, didn't even give their population a chance to prepare. Maybe they're trying to save face. So first Germany, then the Czech Republic, not Czechoslovakia, the Czech Republic. Czech News, CT24 confirmed the Germany government's call to stockpile food and water, and the Czech Republic is now telling its people, quote unquote, prepare for the worst. The first time since the Cold War. Does this have anything to do with the possibility that I've been warning about, and many experts, of global economic meltdown? It might happen fast, a type of domino effect. But look, anyway, the second half of this video is going to be inspirational. Because yeah, a lot of the experts say there's nothing we can do about it, it's going to hurt, it's going to be so painful, it's going to be horrific. Even Peter Schiff, who I love, it's going to be horrific. That's assuming that we don't have drastic changes. So anyway, this is an article from halturnershow.com from August 23rd. Now it's Germany. Now multiple countries warning their citizens to quote unquote prepare for the worst. Yeah, it's getting a little scary now, maybe. Doom and gloom. I get accused of. Listen, I'll tell you when things start looking brighter. Okay, I'm going to keep an eye on it. I'll let you know. I'll let you know when things start looking up here. But if there's something I sort of understand, it's the economy. This is consistent with what I've been worried about. Because if we don't have drastic changes, we are going to get, many of us will get slaughtered in the upcoming depression. This is where the American West comes in. It's produced by Robert Redford, and it's awesome, starring Jesse James, Billy the Kid, Sitting Bull, Crazy Horse, General Custer, Wyatt Earp. And there's also a lot of celebrities who do these sort of cameos. They talk sort of informally, sitting interview style, in between clips of story. Of course, it's very well done, and it's awesome. I think people who like liberty will be very interested in this American West. And I'll tell you something else. There are similarities. Notice if you start watching, and I have the link, by the way, where you can watch it for free. Here's the first season. America Divided, Civil War. It goes back to the Civil War, right after the Civil War. Anyway, look, I'll put a link to I'll put a link to this. So you can come here and watch it. Liberty lovers will love it. Like I did, like I am. And notice, they're coming out of a depression. Okay? They're coming out of a depression. Some people are resorting to crime, like Jesse James and his gang here. Also seen over here. And we're about to head into a depression. Okay, tying it in with what I've been talking about. Just like we're going into. I'll tell you the only solution to this. It just occurred to me, we need to go back to the American West. Yeah, then the collapse wouldn't be so bad. That's what I really hope, that Donald Trump realizes this. And he says, look guys, I told you that we had a crazy bubble. I told you it was going to burst. It bursted on my watch. And but don't worry. What I'm going to do, we're going to go back to the American West. Just like the depression they had in the 1860s or whatever. People are going to have land to flock to. I'm going to open up all of the government land, all of the land reserves, all of the protected property, all of the wildlife reserves, all of the roads, everything. It's all yours. The land honestly belongs to the people. It's yours to work off. You guys are going to have to work it out amongst yourselves. Maybe you could try something like first come, first serve. Okay, and yeah, you'll have to defend your land. We are going to go back to a sound money monetary system. So yes, I will recommend. You're carrying around gold. Times are very unstable. Carry a gun. We're going back. Wouldn't be so bad. I don't want to say that would be awesome, which is what I was going to say. But it would be awesome. At least we could relax. We knew the collapse is over. We know what we're dealing with. Now we just have to deal with it and work on survival. It's hard going on for so long like this. There's a name for it. It's called anticipatory anxiety. It builds up on, I'm sure some of you are noticing it. Yeah, it's adding up. It's accumulating over the long haul. This anticipation, waiting for this damn thing. The economic collapse, okay? The depression. Maybe I should start calling it depression. Collapses. It's too extreme, It's too conspiracy theory. Look, a depression is coming. Donald Trump needs to do what I just said. You're free to mine the land. It's your land, just like in the American West. It was theirs, so people just went there. to settle. Obviously, I recommend watching this. I'll put a link to it. But yeah, that would help. That would help a little bit. The government's going to stay out of your way. Basically, we're going back to the Constitution, to a type of Ron Paul republic. Everything's private. Like I said, roads, bridges, airports, everything. It's all private. If you don't like how one airline is patting you down or doing invasive searches, then you can go to another airline. There's competition. Not this government umbrella hanging over all of our heads, molesting us, figuratively with spying and literally at the airport, and crunching down on our civil liberties and constitutional freedoms. Yeah, well, that's the solution of this thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. I would love to hear your thoughts about this. I mean, I know the collapse is coming, but I don't think a lot of people, I don't know, really believe that it's coming or know. Anyway, look, I don't know what I'm talking about at this point. Let's just stick to making a case for why we need to go back to small government. We need to go back to small towns. And you know what? If a small town finds a bunch of gold on their property, then it's theirs. It belongs to them. They can create a boomtown out of it. It's all covered in, everything I'm talking about here is basically covered in this. And you get to see some of the people who I believe are probably Alex Jones listeners, liberty lovers. Kiefer Sutherland is one of them. Burt Reynolds is one of them. And that other guy who reminds me of Burt Reynolds, I forget his name. But there's a lot of big names there. Oh, this guy, Tom Selleck. Yeah, these are the sleeper, I believe, some of them, Alex Jones listeners. They're frightened. They're afraid to speak up, but they're truly passionate. You can tell about the American West, and especially Robert Redford, the one who produced it. Yeah, there are, I bet you, liberty people all over the place. I think it's a great idea. I think probably Robert Redford would agree. Seen here. I think Rob would agree. Yeah, that's what we need to do. The government at this point has accumulated a lot of land. They own a lot of land, wildlife reserves they call them, or whatever they call them. I'm not an expert, okay? I'm just, like I said, general knowledge. I think I'm pretty sharp. But I think the government may have accumulated so much land at this point. Not to mention the national parks like Yellowstone and the Grand Canyon. They may have accumulated so much land that it might really help. That might really help us. We could use that land, the resources. We're not going to be able to depend on the economy. We're going to be in a survival situation. We're going to need all the help we can get. Open up the land. That's my plea. Let us work it out amongst ourselves. Yeah, it might be a little wild. Just like the Wild West. It might be a little crazy and chaotic. Yeah, you might have crime. You might have Boss Hogg or different towns that, and you might have some good people like Wyatt Earp, the good sheriff. I would love to see this become a reality. And frankly, it's got to be one of the only solutions to this economic shitstorm that's approaching, friends, guaranteed. The hurricane is approaching. What do you guys think? I think it's a great idea.